Steve.
Yes, Nick.
Can you see me okay?
A little bit blurry because I can't see.
Yeah, a little bit blurry with my glasses off. But you know what? That's a good thing.
Why?
Because guess what we're talking about today?
No idea.
All things eye health.
Oh, okay. So there's lots of eye diseases you can get. You can go blind. I've got a friend who went blind going blind at 40.
Yes.
If you can believe that.
Yes.
And it's preventable.
It is. So we're going to be talking about some of the contributing factors to poor eye health.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about things we can do to improve our eye health, including lifestyle factors, including foods and supplementation, all the things. So if you're interested in anything eyes, stay tuned.
And a couple of well-tested, well-researched supplements that can really help your eye.
That's right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the ATP Project. You're with your hosts, Nick and Steve. Hey, Steve.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Let me just...
Yeah, I know. Can I see you properly? I don't know if I can see you.
When I take that off, because you're at the range where my glasses... Yeah,
when you take them off, I look way better.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. I had the same problem this morning. I was getting ready in the mirror and I had put my glasses on for something. I went, I want to just take them off again. I'm all right without them on.
I can't try with them. So why are we talking about our glasses and eyes today, Nick?
We're talking about vision today, Steve, or eye health and vision.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vision, one vision is in the song.
Yeah, that is
the Queen song.
Yeah, I know. It's a great song.
Just thought of that.
Yeah.
Look, we are talking about vision today. We're talking about eye diseases and look, we both wear glasses, but we're going to...
Let's premise we both wear reading glasses.
Reading glasses.
Don't wear glasses in the normal world.
I just do it because apparently I look hotter in glasses. No,
that's
I don't.
True, Steve. And I do it because I look smarter. And you're going to say, no, you don't.
You look hot and smart.
No, Steve. That's
there we go.
No,
Beck's going to... There we go. We got emails about that already. Well, look, it's funny because as naturopaths, which we are, you can... Google Nicole Brown naturopathy and book in and see her if you want. She's still practicing. I don't practice. But eye health is interesting because it sneaks up on you. Because I've got friends in my four-wheel drive club who's got a daughter that and I won't mention her name, but she's just been diagnosed at the age of 40 with a degenerative eye disease that literally will make her go blind. And it's called age-related macular degeneration. Now, that's horrendous.
It is horrendous.
And it's like, everyone thinks, oh, that's bad luck getting at that age. It's not luck, is it?
No, it's not luck.
2013 turned us around with the eyes because there was a major study released in 2013 that said things can help your eyes last longer. Now, we've got vision things like we need reading glasses and all this sort of stuff. We're not talking about that because that's not what it's optometrist area.
Yes.
What we're talking about is how about you don't get eye disease in the first place?
That's right.
Not like in
how
glasses.
Do you fix it?
Yeah, but like glaucomas, the cataracts and the age-related macular degenerations. Yeah. And no one thinks about that.
No, they don't.
It's like people just whatever, and then, I've got a problem with my eyes. Oh, geez, I need an operation. Yeah. And it's a little bit close to your heart, this one, isn't it?
Well, my mum's blind.
Yes.
So I have it's not genetic. Obviously, it's
good.
Not genetic.
That's good to know.
Yes, my mum has a couple of eye conditions. She won't mind. Hopefully, she's been telling me too bad she does.
Oh, okay, there you go.
No, she's fine with it.
She's interstate, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in another state.
Yeah.
So she started to lose her vision when she was 7, and then she had something called retinitis pigmentosa.
Yep.
And glaucoma. But the retinitis pigmentosa is a condition where you start to lose your vision and then suddenly that's it.
Just
done.
goes,
literally go. And that's what happened when she was 24. Her vision just went. She thought the power went out, but then she realised it was the middle of the day. Everything went black. God. So she's been completely 100% totally blind since she was 24. So.
Now, do you remember, and you may not know the answer to this, but does she have open or closed angle glaucoma? Sounds like closed angle.
I don't know. So she had childhood glaucoma, which is different to adult glaucoma. Yes. I don't know. And I never even knew she had glaucoma until I was in none of us, my brothers either, until I was in my 30s. And I was having a few eye issues. And so you should probably get that checked because glaucoma. I had glaucoma. Oh. She had glaucoma. And I thought, that's genetic, Mum. She never told any of us.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have it, obviously. It's fine. But yes, I don't know if it's open or closed.
It probably sounds like closed angle. Open angle is, just for people who are playing at home, open angle is a more chronic, long-term, very common. And, it's not the drastic thing. And, one of the early medications for that was smoking dope.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I have heard that, yes.
Yes. So there is that. And
that was in the comedy movies, they're smoking dope and they say, I have glaucoma.
Yes, that's right. I've seen that too. And I'm going, oh, smart move. I don't know if I'm ever caught smoking dope, which I won't be because I'm too boring to.
Yeah,
but it's quite angry. And so that's the open angle glaucoma, and the closed angle one's much more severe, which sounds like what your mum had. Yeah. So your mum, now I know the answer to this, but how blind is your mum now?
Completely. Can't see a thing.
If her eyes were at the sun, would she be able to see the sun? No. So nothing. Okay, so that's tragic because, complete loss of sight. Now, the age-related macular degeneration is another one where you get a vision, just a black dot in the middle of your sight, and incredibly bad. And glaucoma is other ones which develops, well, usually the common one develops over a long time. You end up with vision loss. Yeah. And if you've ever been to an optometrist and they blow a bit of air into your eyeball, which feels great, by the way.
Oh, I hate it.
I can't stand it.
Hate it, yes.
And but that measures the pressure of your eye. So this is a common check you can get done. It's bog build if you go to a place. So these are the things that you should be looking out for.
Because we didn't explain glaucoma is pressure building up in the eye. So they check the pressure. And I guess if you have that eye pain, sometimes that eye pain, which is what I had eye pain, so I had to check for glaucoma. But that closed angle is the one that you get more pain.
Yes.
But it's a pressure build up in the eyes. It's just why they do that pressure test. Or they do dye as well, which is worse.
I've never had that. No.
Oh, it's horrible. They put this yellow dye in your eye and we can see yellow for the next 3 hours.
Great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Jeez, that'd be kind of like being on drugs.
Yeah, no, not nice.
But I mean, the thing about there is what we're going to say, there's a lot you can do to protect your eyes. And the good news is there's some weird supplements. We'll get into the weird supplements later. Yeah. But there's some natural things we can do, exercises, not eye exercises, but exercises that help your eyes because they're attached to your body.
That's right.
Surprisingly, it kind of goes like that. Now we also did you did iridology?
I did do iridology.
I remember it was in first year iridology. I remember doing it and going, oh, this is a load of shit.
Yeah.
and but the more you do it, you realise, hang on, this means something.
Yeah.
And so that's the iris. The iris is the colour part.
Yes.
Then you got the pupil, which is the bit we see through, and it's got a little lens there, which inverts the image on the back of your retina, which is the back of the eye, and you got the aqueous humor, which is the inside of the eyeball. This is the anatomy of the eye. So you can get damaging areas at the retina at the back, which we talked about age-related macular degeneration, but you can also get cloudiness on the lens, and we call that cataracts.
Yes.
Now, cataracts is interesting, isn't it? Because there's surgery for cataracts now, but it's a clouding of the lens, and that's due to oxidative damage to the eye.
Yes.
So that's giving you a clue of where we can look at with all this sort of eye stuff. So to cut a long story short, there was a paper published in 2013. I've got it here. And it was a very pivotal paper. And what they did with this one was they looked at one disease in the eye, the age-related macular degeneration, and it's titled Long-Term Effects of Vitamin C, E, Beta-carotene and Zinc on Age-Related Macular Degeneration, report number 35. Published in ophthalmology, and what they found was a massive reduction in age-related macular degeneration, as I hold the paper up to the screen. And this was a bit of and there's beautiful graphs here. And the more antioxidants you took, because antioxidants work together, the more they protect the eye. And antioxidants work together, they shuttle the free electrons around. They donate to make a pair of electrons on a free radical, and that's how it works. And so, and there's beautiful graphs, I'll put them up to show people who are playing on it, but you can see there that there's just reductions the more antioxidants you take. Yeah. So that's very interesting. Now, what is an antioxidant? Oxidation of something is the loss of an electron. Okay, so that's oxidation. So if you've got, say, vitamin C, it donates an electron to the free radical and it pairs the free radical, and pairs of electrons are stable. If you've got one on their own, not stable, like relationships. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah, that sort of thing. So free radicals are quite involved in eye degeneration because our eyes are open all day, except when you blink. But when you go outside, there's what they call photo damage or light damage. and that can cause cataracts and all sorts of things. So you really have to be careful about making sure your antioxidant levels are high, and we're going to go into which antioxidants and doses and that sort of thing. But it's quite remarkable. So we can get cataracts too, which is free radical damage, and you can also get macular degeneration, which is definitely due to free radical damage. And there's two types. There's not open and close angle.
No.
There's wet and dry.
Yes.
And by far, dry macular degeneration is vastly more common, about 90% of cases. And so that's when you originally become blue. The other one is abnormal blood vessel formation, the other one. So we mainly focus on dry macular degeneration. So that's quite interesting. So certainly free radicals are the main problem. But also another problem is, Nick, is as you age,
yes,
you have more chance of getting eye disease because it's just accumulated damage.
That's right, exactly. Like everything else, you're more inclined to get more chronic conditions and things as you get older.
I know,
and that is because of a build-up of oxidative stress. Mitochondrial health comes into play a lot with so many chronic conditions, but with the eyes as well.
Wow, okay. So mitochondria, what are they and what are you talking about?
So mitochondria we've talked about, a lot of people would know about. They're like our little... that we've got millions of them all through our body.
Yep.
And they're like our little powerhouses. They produce our energy, our ATP. So anything that can damage our mitochondria, which can be inflammation, oxidative stress, all the toxins, all of that sort of thing, then impacts the way that we can produce our energy, which then impacts every system in our body.
Yeah.
So the mitochondrial health, it comes into play with a lot of things, but the eyes as well. So if you have poor mitochondria, then you could have issues with the eyes, vision and eye health in general as well. So, but yes, an oxidative stress is a big one.
It's a massive one. And the reason why is because in the mitochondria, the way you make energy is via a Krebs cycle, and then you've got the electron transfer chain. Now, remember that term electron? An electron is a little negatively charged tiniest particle that we know to mankind that's shuttled down a particular pathway. So when you've got an unpaired electron, it can lead to free radical damage. And so if you have, the mitochondria are very prone to free radical damage. And there's lots of mitochondrial antioxidants, famous ones, lipoic acid, coenzyme Q10, these sort of things, vitamin E, vitamin C, all these things. And they will protect against the excessive free radical damage that happens to the mitochondria. And the mitochondria loses energy. And as you lose energy as you age, you get disease. Yeah. And so, as humans age, we have less energy because our mitochondria just become, shitty.
That's right. And that's why when we exercise, we actually can have more energy because we're actually building new mitochondria.
All right. Now, you hit on a word, exercise. There's a great paper here on how to treat eye disease. And you know what they're talking about?
Exercise.
Exercise. I love that. I love that. So, all right, there's 51 billion reasons why you should exercise, but we're just going to add 50 billion and one. So there's three aspects to exercise that we need to look at. It's type the exercise, the intensity, and the recommended amount. Now, for eye health, they have special recommendations. The first one is resistance training.
Yeah.
That is really important. The other one is intensity. They recommend medium to high intensity. And the time is about 150 minutes per week.
Which is nothing, is it?
It's nothing.
It's 2.5 hours a week.
Yeah, 2.5 hours a week. Now, how many hours are there in a week? I should have mathematically added it up. 24 in a day, 24 times 7, 45, 168. Right? Is that right? Is that 168?
184. Wait, Matt's going to work it out properly.
Yes, thank you. See?
You should never question them.
No.
Faster.
So 168 hours. So now I'm going to need the bloody calculator because I'm going to work out the percentage of time per week you've got to exercise. And 150 minutes is not much, but it's enough.
Yeah.
So that's about and I'm going to say 2.5 hours, okay? Mm-hmm. Divided by 168 times 100. That's the percentage. You've got to be exercising to 1.5% of your day.
1.5% of your day.
1.5% of your day.
Wow.
That's all.
That's nothing, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
Can you exercise for 1 point? Oh, I haven't got time.
What does that work out in minutes, Steve?
Yeah, I knew you'd do that. Divided by 100 times how many minutes are there? 24 hours times 60. This is great radio, isn't it?
I know, it's great for people listening.
21.4 minutes a day.
20 minutes. So 20 minutes a day, roughly.
Yeah. Oh, you want to be slack? 20 minutes a day.
Okay, 25 minutes.
There we go.
Let's be high achievers.
Well, the old ads on TV, you got to find 30.
30 minutes a day. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And this is a very low percentage. It's like 2%, less than 2% of your day that you got to exercise. And you haven't, people haven't got time because their time's already filled up. So you got to make time. You got to prioritize. And you got to prioritize.
People have time.
Oh, gotcha.
Everyone has, we've talked about the same amount of time. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. Yeah. It's how you utilize those hours. You're spending 20 minutes scrolling on your phone. You're spending 20 minutes sitting watching TV or half an hour sitting watching TV. You're getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning to get to work by 9 instead of getting up at 5 o'clock and having 3 hours. You know, I mean, I get up, you get up early. I get up early. Yeah, I get up at 4:30 and I've exercised, I've walked the dog, I've done breakfast, done all that sort of stuff. Everything's made before my partner even gets out of bed. And he doesn't listen to this, so I can say whatever.
Yeah, well, my partner does listen to this, so I've got to be careful what I say.
But she also gets up early and she does a lot of exercise.
Like she got up today, she left the house at 4 to go to the gym. And it's sort of like everyone thinks you're a nut job for doing that. And I think you're a nut job for not exercising because you can get 1,000,001 diseases. The eyes as well, of course, as we're talking about. You can get, this will protect your eyes. And it's so funny because people... and this is one thing I don't understand. People won't sacrifice 20 minutes a day. No. Yet when it comes to if their eyes are failing, they'll go through any operation. Yeah. Like surgeries on your eyeballs and all sorts of things like that, but they won't do the 20 minutes of exercise.
And it's like any chronic condition, isn't it? It's like until you have it, and that's the problem. Until you have it, you think you're never going to get it. Yeah. That will never be me. I'm fine. And then so you won't do anything to prevent it. Yeah. And then when you do end up with a chronic condition, like, oh, quick, what do I do? Help me, give me advice. I mean, well, you've had the advice your whole life, And in our profession, I'd rather it to be a preventative medicine rather than treating whatever's you've already done. So, and it's so easy. These things are so easy, exercise and eat well, and they're just the things you should do every day. And when you're young, and I was the same, and a lot of people are saying, when you're young, you just don't think about it. You think that will never be you. Yeah. No, it'll never happen to me.
My eyes are perfect.
Yeah, now look, I have to wear reading glasses and things, and, I never thought I used to boast about how great my eyesight was.
So did I.
Yeah.
It still is pretty good for an old guy. Yeah. But it's, when I get tested, the distance is really good, and with glasses, I can read, proper stuff. And so my eyes are good apart from the hardening of the lens.
You need glasses.
Yeah, the fact I need glasses.
Yeah.
It's funny.
No, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. So the eyes, funny because eyes are interesting because remember our lifespans have increased dramatically. Now, if we died at the age of 47 like we did at the turn of the century, and your eyes would be fine till 47. Mine were okay. A little bit towards the end, I needed reading glasses, 47. And, so the eyes are kind of designed like your car to run out at the age of about 47 and even younger before that. Yeah. So the eyes were fine for us. And secondly, we didn't read when we were millions of years ago.
And we didn't have computers and screens, which we're going to talk a little bit about.
How we got screen stuff,
Yeah, mitigate the effects of screens on your eyes.
So that's an interesting paper. So it does talk about exercise in the eyes, and everyone thinks, you got to do eyeball exercises. No, it's exercise.
Actually, exercise, you'll move your body.
Yeah, move your body. And so it prevents pretty much most diseases of the eye, especially including, and I'll give you this review, summarises the positive effects of exercise and physical on common ocular disease, including dry eye disease, cataracts, myopia, age-related macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, and many others.
Done.
It's funny because exercise also prevents diabetes.
That's right. And then there is a condition called diabetic retinopathy.
There is. Look at that. I'm holding up a paper.
There you go.
But I've got a great little biochemical thing here on diabetes in the eyes. Now diabetes is high levels of blood sugar levels. Now, you don't have to have diabetes. This is the thing what this study says, is that every time you have hyperglycemia or too much blood in the sugar, in the blood, not in sugar, it damages your blood vessels in your eyes. Yeah. So if you have a Tim Tam, Nick?
I'm never going to live that down. In another podcast we did yesterday, I said I have had a few of the gluten-free Tim Tams when they came out. I had 2 to 3 in the last however many years they've been out. But now Steve's hanging on to that and thinks I eat Tim Tams all the time.
but it's like you look, and to be perfectly honest, Nick eats like an angel. You know, I give her snacks and she eats healthy stuff, and you know, you have that beautiful blueberry smoothie in the morning, which is
my
very low in
with
sugar.
My veggies and my berries, and which are full of anthocyanins, which are very good for
nerd.
the eyes, Steve.
Yeah, the eyes. Well, it's funny. Yeah, we're going to talk about that for the eyes, absolutely. But diabetes and any sort of hypertension and hyperglycemia and any sort of the dyslipidemia leads to inflammation, which leads inflammation in the eyeballs, which causes vascular permeability, altered blood retinal barrier, which leads to diabetic macular edema and diabetic retinopathy. Yeah. And if you have high sugar, so, you know, you don't, but the person that has Fruit Loops for breakfast, and there's millions of them.
Yes.
You've seen
That floors me that people still eat them.
Oh, and Cocoa Pops then.
Yeah, wow. I mean, obviously not our audience, Steve.
No one.
They wouldn't be.
But even, you know, like even if you're trying to be healthy, and that Sam Sulik guy, have you seen him? He's a bodybuilder who just recently competed. And he goes through bulking phases where he has loads of high GI, high glycemic index foods and high glycemic foods and just to bulk up to get the insulin spike. That's damaging his eyes.
Yes, that's right.
So even if you're like, quote, healthy like Sam Sulik, anything that's high in sugar, you have a can of Coke, it'll damage your eyes.
Well, can I say bodybuilding's not always a healthy sport, let me say.
No, not healthy at all. No. But even if you've got like high blood pressure and you don't bother about blood pressure, it's damaging your eyes.
Yeah, 100%, yes.
You got these tiny, fragile blood vessels in your eyes.
The microvascular system is it can cause a lot of problems, particularly for the eyes and diabetic retinopathy. And that's where the ulcers come from. Like, but people have to have amputations because their microvascular system is not allowing that blood flow to send nutrients, therefore this tissue's dying. So
the foot people amputate feet all the time.
Yeah.
And I've got a hemoglobin A1C value which is it should be below 6, right? Yeah. Way below 6.
Should be optimal below 5.
Oh yeah, okay,
5 to be optimal.
Optimal.
Yeah.
Anything above 6.5 is damaging your eyes.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? Yeah. It's not much higher.
No, it's not.
So, you know, you can be damaging your eyes left, right and centre just by having, you know, what do people say? It's really, it does my head in. People say, I've even got a family member who says this, but every time I have coffee, I've got to have a sweet biscuit.
Oh, really?
So, you know, people who eat a lot of sweets when they have just, you know, like they have a coffee or something, really bad. Or people finish eating a meal and then they'll have a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, I need something sweet after my meal. Yeah, and that could be your gut microbiome, let me just say. If you have a lot of cravings and you've got to have something sweet after my meal.
Oh, it's nice to, but it's not needed.
No, definitely not needed.
And if you want to, have something that's sugar-free sweet, you know, like, you know, hot chocolate or something that we sell. Shouldn't, but, you know, something like that, you know, that sort of thing. But really, blood vessels are very, very sensitive to high sugar, and there's none smaller than ones in your eyeball. That's right. Very dangerous diabetic retinopathy. So, all right, Nick, guess what?
What?
There's other things that damage your eyes.
There is other things that damage your eyes.
The colour of your skin damages your eyes.
Yes. Tell me more, Steve.
Okay. Because we are Caucasians.
We are.
So we have more eye damage than a lot of other ethnicities.
Okay.
Like if you're African heritage, you have way less age-related macular degeneration.
Now, is that the colour of your skin or the colour of your eyes? Well, because darker skin people generally have darker eyes.
Darker eyes, absolutely, yeah, because they're more attuned to the sun. So we are shit in the sun.
Well, depending. What colour are your eyes, Steve? Hazel?
They're blue.
Oh, you're the worst then.
Well,
no, because
I'm from Scotland,
blue
so I'm
eyes
really screwed.
will be damaged. The lighter the eye colour, the more damage, the easier it is for them to be damaged. So blue eyes are probably the ones that become damaged the most. Yeah. And then it's green, then hazel, then brown.
Well, mine used to be green, but I cleaned up my act.
See, mine are... Okay, I'm not going to tell you what colour mine are then.
I'm looking at them.
I have green eyes.
Yeah. But they're a blue underneath, you know, because remember iridology?
No, they're not. I don't have blue eyes. I have green eyes.
Green eyes, gee whiz. And if we look at magnifying glass, you'll see it's blue with some yellow tinge on top.
Well, I mean, I dispute that because I did an iridology photograph, which is where they get really close to the eye, and they're as green as green. You can't see any yellow. You can't see any other colour in there. It's a bit of blue, bit of brown sludge on there, just occasionally.
Bit of sludge, brown
sludge.
Now, I'm going to tell you something dumb. Ready for this? Just to say it.
Yeah.
Smoking damages your eyes. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed,
right.
Yes. Because that affects that microvascular system, which again comes back to the eyes. So a lot of times people that smoke can have bad circulation or they have circulation issues. And that's an indication that it's damaging their microvascular. It's why it can cause erectile dysfunction and all that sort of thing, smoking, because it's damaging that microvascular system.
And you know what else damages your eyes? Steroids.
Oh, steroids, yes.
Now we're not talking about testosterone where buddy, build up muscle.
Yeah.
We're talking about corticosteroids.
That's right. Yeah. So that can increase the intraocular pressure.
Does indeed.
The risk of glaucomas.
Absolutely terrible. And so if you're on long-term steroid use for asthmas and those sort of things, get your eyes checked. You know what I mean?
I mean, you've probably got a lot of other things going on as well. But definitely it's going to impact your eyes as well.
Other health conditions you can have, like diabetes, of course, we talked about high blood pressure, poor circulation. So if you have Raynaud's.
Yes, Raynaud's, which is what I was diagnosed with years ago, which I never had. I didn't have it. No, I used to get, when I lived in Melbourne, I used to get chilblains.
Yeah, Melbourne's
And I was told I had Raynaud's, and I'm like, I don't have Raynaud's.
No, it's always freezing cold down here.
So it magically disappeared but when I came to Queensland. But yes, here's one for you, Steve, that you might need to worry about.
Yeah, I am worried about it.
Migraines.
I know.
Yeah, and I used to suffer migraines when I was younger as well. That can increase your chance of eye damage.
And the medication that you take with it.
That's right.
Because and I don't know if we need to go into this, but the medication for migraines these days, mainstays are triptans. There's new classes called gepants, which is a anti-calcitonin gene-related peptide. It's, sorry, getting nerdy, not on topic. But the triptans, the common like rizatriptan, elatriptan, sumatriptan, any triptan, they bind with two receptors on your blood vessels, the B and D. And the B, as I used to teach my students, stand for blood.
Yes.
So it squashes your blood vessels down in your head.
Yeah.
And the migraine goes away because migraine is a vasodilation in the head.
Yeah.
Caused by calcitonin gene-related peptide. So you reverse that and the triptans reverse the migraines. So great, but if you squash in the blood vessels too often in your head,
damage them.
Squash the blood vessels in your eye.
That's right. Yeah, so that could be a problem.
So that's a bad one. And, of course, they used to give steroids too for migraines too.
So there's a double whammy.
Yep. And also hypothyroidism.
Hypothyroidism, yeah. I guess I'm trying to look at the mechanism there. I guess that because that can impact your circulation as well, slows everything down.
Yeah,
so that
slows
can
everything.
That
and the eyes are susceptible because this is why exercise is good for your eyes because it pumps blood through your eyeballs.
That's right. Increases circulation.
Now, other micronutrient deficiencies, all the ones that control blood sugar levels, but magnesium is a good one too, isn't it?
Magnesium, really, really important. Magnesium, so low vitamin D, low zinc.
Yep.
We would talk about lutein and zeaxanthin, which is interesting. Vitamin C, vitamin E, omega-3 fatty acids. So if you have low levels of any of these micronutrients, it can definitely impact your eye health.
Yep. So you're bagging out the Western diet there, Nick.
Yeah, well, there's another cause of poor eye health is the Western diet.
Yep.
So, refined foods and trans fats and highly processed foods and sugars and things like that. Obviously, all the things that are in the SAD diet, Standard Australian American diet, they can definitely contribute to poor eye health.
Absolutely. Now, what if you live on the Gold Coast and you surf all day?
Yeah, well, that UV radiation could impact your eyes too, Steve.
And it's really bad on the coast.
Yes.
You want to know why? Because if you surf in the morning, the sun rises in the east because we're spinning that way, okay? And it comes straight off the water, straight in your eyeballs, as well as being directly in your eyeballs. Because you know where sun is when you're out surfing?
No.
I used to body surf for hours.
Did you?
I used to spend a lot of time. I was a lifeguard.
Oh, of course.
Even with sunnies on and you're protecting it, you're still taking them off to go swimming.
That's right, yeah.
So if you're a surfer all day, and there's millions of surfers in Australia, they're just looking into the sun all morning.
Yeah.
And even the afternoon, the sun's there, but it's behind you typically when you're looking out to sea. But still, you're getting loads of UV radiation.
Yeah. Do you wear sunglasses, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't wear sunglasses. I've never ever worn them. No, I don't. I don't like wearing sunglasses because I don't like wearing glasses. I don't like wearing glasses on my face. So I wear these for reading. But no, I don't. They give me headaches. So I actually don't. Wow. But that's bad because I'm getting a lot of UV light. So, we talk about in the morning getting up and going outside and getting the light in your eyes to help to increase your cortisol. Yep. So that's a little bit different. That's before the sun really is risen and you're not getting a lot of that UV. So that's still really important. So people that get up in the morning, put their glasses on and go outside, you don't do that if you want to get your cortisol levels up. Yeah. But during the day when the UV levels are quite high, you really should be protecting your eyes.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised still getting over the fact,
I've got a pair in my car. I mean,
when you're driving home, do you wear sunglasses?
No, because someone bought me polarized sunglasses, which is great, but I find they're off-putting because they distort things.
You're a weirdo.
Really? Yeah. Well, I love the look of sunglasses, but I don't like mine. But my partner doesn't listen. He bought me the sunglasses, which are really great sunglasses, but I don't wear them. He doesn't. No, he won't listen, so.
I hope he doesn't. He's never going to buy you another thing again now.
I have darker eyes. I don't have brown eyes. I have green eyes, Steve. So I'm a little bit better than someone with blue eyes.
Thanks. 6'4" and eyes are no, I'm 6'2", eyes are blue, but I'm not 6'2", so.
You're not anymore, Steve.
I honestly was 6'1". Now I'm 6 foot.
You are shrinking. Well, obviously you also have
AS in my spine, and I've got a disc degeneration. Like you wouldn't say. I should show the MRI. That looks pretty gross.
No, that's
disgusting.
You have to show me that.
Yeah,
I like a good MRI.
Sorry,
yeah. I said I like a good MRI.
Oh, do you?
No, just cut that out.
Jeez, that's a. All right, Nick. I've given so much bad news. Give me some sort of what sort of. Okay, someone's come to you and they've said, Nick, I need to look after my eyes. I'm worried because whatever. What sort of diet would you give them? What sort of dietary advice?
Well, probably my favourite diet, which is the Mediterranean style diet.
Yes, very good.
Lower carb Mediterranean style diet because I think the original Mediterranean diet might be a little bit higher in carbs depending on what your lifestyle's like. Mm-hmm. But it's just a nice balanced diet. So you're getting all your polyphenols and your antioxidants through your fruits and your colourful vegetables. You're getting your omega-3 fatty acids through your fish. You're getting more polyphenols and antioxidants through the olive oils and things like that. So it's just a nice, well-balanced diet. That can be, really good for your eyes. Eggs are really good for your eyes.
Really good.
I find that's just a nice, easy diet that you can maintain long term for health. So
just a typical example would be like red capsicums chopped up with kale or some sort of spinach. I know you like kale.
Yes, no, I know where you're going with this.
And have a nice omelette for breakfast like that.
Yeah, so those foods have things called lutein and zeaxanthin, Steve.
Wow.
Which are antioxidants that are particularly good for eye health.
You know exactly where I'm going.
And exactly where you're going.
And there's lots of data on this. There's lots of studies. There's a great review paper published in Antioxidants. I didn't know this paper.
Love that
yeah, it's really good. And it talks about the carotenoids, which is what this is a group thing. And it's called, the title is A Mechanism Review of Beta-carotene, Lutein and Zeaxanthin in Eye Health and Disease. And it's published 2020. And it talks about this. I didn't know this. There was 600 carotenoids that naturally occur, although only about 20 of them are in the human body, which is all those ones that you've talked about.
And they're found in very high levels in the eye, Steve.
Very high levels. Ocular carotenoids absorb light from the visible region, which is 400 to 500 nanometers wavelength, enabling them to protect the retina and lens from potential phytochemical damage induced by light exposure. And that's straight out of the paper.
So you don't need to wear sunglasses. Just get lots of lutein and zeaxanthin containing foods.
Yeah.
That'll protect your eyes from UV.
There's some great foods and there's more of them, like strawberries, green peppers, red peppers, tomatoes, oranges, grapefruit. With grapefruit, be careful if you're on medications.
Definitely, yes.
Because it contains narcotin, which reduces the metabolism.
Yeah.
So if you're on beta blockers, for example, you get more beta blocker per bite.
Yeah.
And it becomes more effective, which means it lowers your blood pressure more, and that can damage your eyes.
That's right. Yes.
Low blood pressure damages your eyes too, and your kidneys.
Yeah.
So that's lutein.
And you can get those in supplement form.
Yep.
So there is a few really good products out there that have the lutein and zeaxanthin in them.
They are.
Yeah, which are very good for eyes.
And just to get a bit nerdy, there are a couple of studies I want to talk about with those and the amounts. Clinical studies show that daily supplementation of 10 milligrams of lutein and 20 milligrams of zeaxanthin, they're quite a high dose, over 2 years has improved visual function. So that's a whoppingly high dose, but that's very effective. They've got a warning here with beta-carotene. There was a study in 1994, where they gave smokers huge amounts of just beta-carotene on its own and it increased lung cancer.
Yes.
So don't smoke.
No, don't smoke.
But if you're smoking, don't take beta-carotene because it'll make things worse, even though beta-carotene's. And what about if it's in vegetables? That's fine because it's got the other antioxidants.
Exactly.
So really important. Another paper published by Brown, is that you?
No, I wasn't going to say, but yes.
Oh, yeah. No. Formulates to combine carotenoids with antioxidants and essential fatty acids have shown synergistic effects for eye health. Brown et al.
Yep.
Oh, good on you.
I love the Browns. They're all very smart.
Love it.
So here's another antioxidant, Steve, that I love is bilberry.
Oh, bilberry.
I take bilberry every day, actually.
You do? That's right.
Yeah, I take bilberry, stick it in my smoothie.
Yeah.
That's nice and purple. So that's rich in anthocyanins, which are really potent antioxidants. So they help to support vision. So very good for the microvascular. So coming back to that microvascular aspect for the eyes. So bilberry's been linked to improved night vision, quicker adjustment to darkness and glare. And it also helps its role in supporting rhodopsin, Steve. So
what is that?
So it's actually a pigment in the eyes. It's very crucial for night vision, Steve.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it used to be called vision purple, I think, because that was a great thing.
Bilberry's purple. So there you go.
Yeah. It's funny because we were all told to eat our carrots and there's and it's actually kind of got a bit of truth to it.
There is a little, because I was having this conversation with Matt actually this morning and talking about the whole carrot thing, where that actually came from. But there is an element of truth to it. So they're high in beta-carotene, which convert to vitamin A, which we need a lot of for eye health. So there is that. But I don't think, as Matt and I were saying, you'd have to eat a bucket loads of carrots to actually have that improved night vision. But, yeah, there's definitely an element of truth to that.
Well, vitamin A's it's double-edged sword. It's good for your eyes, but it's, if you fell pregnant, vitamin A's. Oh, jeez. You are a woman.
Yeah.
No, you are a woman. So vitamin A got to be careful to take if you're of pregnancy age.
Yes, but even the levels that they say, so it's 7,500 milligrams.
It used to be 2,500 in my day, but I know it's gone up.
Is it micrograms?
No, international units. Yeah.
Okay. But now they're saying you could go a lot higher than that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're pregnant, obviously talk to your practitioner first. But anyway, that's that. So, so other nutrients, Steve, that can be really beneficial for eye health.
Hit me with one.
So I'm going to say glutathione.
All right. So how do we get that boosted up in the body?
So you can N-acetylcysteine is a precursor to glutathione, or you can go straight glutathione.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, and glutathione is a lot more available these days. So get reduced glutathione. So in a liposomal form, if you can remember all of that.
Fat soluble form,
just take N-acetylcysteine.
Yeah.
So very, very high in antioxidants, yes. Okay. So people with greying hair, Steve, I used to give glutathione to them a lot because it counters the effects of the hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, geez, I'll write this down.
Hydrogen peroxide bleaches your hair. That's why it goes grey. You get the hydrogen peroxide. We've talked about that in, I think, the hair podcast.
Yes,
hair loss podcast. But glutathione is a very strong antioxidant.
Yeah.
So, but very good for the eyes.
Yes,
so
really
I think glutathione or N-acetylcysteine, which is the precursor, N-acetylcysteine, if you're going to be looking at that, 600 to 1,200 milligrams a day of N-acetylcysteine.
Good.
Can be quite good.
It's a good one. They give this one out in the hospital in case you overdose on paracetamol.
N-acetylcysteine, yes.
Very good for the liver.
Yeah.
Because antioxidants protect the liver from damage.
That's right. And which we didn't talk about, and we won't go into, but there is a connection in traditional Chinese medicine between the liver and the eyes.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you have any liver issues, it can impact your eyes. Or should I say, if you're having eye issues, look at the liver because there could be a connection there as well.
Well, we know that, I mean, for the Western medicine people out there, if you have yellowing of the eyes, that jaundice, that's a liver problem.
Definitely.
Gee, people look funny. Well, not funny, but it really looks quite disturbing when someone gets yellows in the whites of their eyes.
Yeah.
The jaundice.
Because the bilirubin can accumulate in the eyes.
Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. So if you do have eye issues, maybe look at your liver function, liver health as well, just as an aside.
All right.
Magnesium. I mean, what does magnesium not good for, really?
Well, there's 300 odd things it does in the body, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So it helps with blood pressure, obviously. So if you have high blood pressure, we said that can impact the eyes, and it can help to improve the visual field changes in people with glaucoma.
Oh, wow. So it's good for glaucoma.
Yeah.
There's not many treatments for these things. Like medically, there's treatments, but there's dope. But that we'd not recommend. No,
we want to do prevention.
But magnesium is incredibly important, and look, it's good for everything. Yeah. And everybody needs about 320 milligrams a day. That's your RDA. Yeah.
That's the RDA. I put most people on at least 700. I can take upwards of 800 or 900 milligrams a day.
Oh, when there's we sell a magnesium powder here. It's got, I won't mention the name of it, but I mean, I take, I just fill my drink bottle up with it. It's ludicrous. I load it up.
Yeah.
And, my nuts full of magnesium.
Full of magnesium. That's
so,
magnesium.
It's very good for you.
Yeah.
So that's a good book. Magnesium, and it regulates blood pressure. So, and also helps with diabetes. So it's good for the associated, like antioxidants protect the eye. N-acetylcysteine in the antioxidant category, but magnesium works on the blood vessels and all those sorts of things. So anything with blood vessel health. So even L-citrulline that I haven't seen a study on, but that could help the eyes dramatically.
You do too, yeah, exactly.
So there's lots of stuff you can do, Nick. I mean, and you love this one. What about omega-3?
I love omega-3 fatty acids. They have so many amazing benefits.
Yep.
So they obviously are anti-inflammatory, so it's going to help with any inflammation associated with eye
And there is
problems.
inflammation. Interleukin 1, 6, and tumor necrosis factor are elevated in eye diseases.
That's right.
So inflammation,
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
They're working on cardiovascular health, obviously. So anything to do with cardiovascular health and, arteries and things in the vascular system.
Yep.
They support brain function, which you need for that visual development and all that sort of stuff, and retinal function for omega-3s, fatty acids.
Yep.
So if
That's a
you
good
can
one.
get them obviously through your diet, the whole foods is great, but with the quality of the fish these days, it's very difficult to do that.
It is tricky. And I know you personally take omega-3s.
I do. I used to eat a lot of fish, but now because the quality, we can only get farm fish in this country. We can get imported wild caught, but really poor quality fish these days, which is a shame. I mean, where I live, we can get a lot of reef fish, and that sort of thing, but you're a real fatty fish. Your salmons and things are hard to get.
I went to a conference in America many years ago, a nutrition conference, as we do as nerds, in Las Vegas. And they had wild salmon there, and I went, oh, yeah, I like salmon. I'll have some of that. Why not? Because I'm a gut. And I went round there, and, oh, my God, the taste.
It's completely different.
It's not like the salmon here.
No, it's completely different. It's very lean.
Yeah.
It's got no fat, whereas the farm salmon is very fatty, very lean. It can dry out quite easily, and it's bright red.
It's really full of carotenoids.
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely amazing.
You can get that in one of the big supermarket chains here, which I won't say, but they import that from Canada, but it's cryovac fresh. So
Really?
you can get that. I eat that sometimes.
Tell me off camera.
I will tell you off camera.
We can say on camera which one it is or not?
Yeah. Coles.
Oh, right, okay. Jeez.
Don't want to give them any extra support. They get enough money as it is.
Oh, they do all right.
Yeah. So vitamin D.
Yep.
Very good for inflammation again, glucose metabolism, and immune function, all that sort of stuff. And vitamin D deficiency can be associated, there goes my paper, with eye health concerns.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a good one. Now, vitamin A, C, E, that we've talked about the antioxidants. Zinc is very good too for making, because to make vitamin A, you need zinc because zinc turns carotenoids into vitamin A.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a really good one.
Yeah.
And they're mentioning those studies here that we talked about, the age-related eye disease study. So they found the high antioxidants are very good too. So that's a really good supplement.
Yeah.
And you mentioned bilberry extract. So okay, let's just sort of this is what I do. Like what if you had this for breakfast? You chopped up, as I said before, you chopped up spinach, capsicum with 4 eggs for breakfast. That sounds all right, doesn't it, for eggs?
Yeah, well, eggs are high in carotenoids.
Yes, they are.
So the egg yolk.
Yeah, the yolk is very
really
high
good
in
for eyes.
lutein and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Lunch, you might have a big salad, leafy green salad with all the antioxidants in it with some nuts on it for the omegas.
Yeah.
You might drizzle it with healthy oil like olive oil and that sort of thing. Very good for the eyes.
Yeah.
Chicken, whatever you want, some protein in there too. For dinner, lots of colourful vegetables with, wild-caught salmon.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's the perfect eye diet.
It is, yes. Berries, so you can have some or you can have a smoothie for breakfast if you want to do eggs, and you can fill it full of your berries, so your dark-coloured berries. your blueberries, your wild blueberries.
Yep.
You can buy bilberries, frozen bilberries, I think in some places, a bit harder to get. Or you can get, like I do, this supplement and I just open the capsule and tip it in.
Oh, yeah.
So you could fill it with your berries and then you're getting all your anthocyanins and your antioxidants there as well. So that's really good for you.
And the good thing about eating like this is that it's good for your body as well. So we're not just focusing on one part of our body. Yeah. This is great for your general health, full of antioxidants. Supplements, you know, I like the lutein and the zeaxanthin supplements.
Yeah, you can get those. So either see a practitioner or other companies, places that you can get it online.
Yeah, we don't sell it, but there's plenty of places you can get it. So even if you're like okay, that's the ultimate. Now, even if you just want to take those 2 weird antioxidants.
What about chlorella?
Oh, yeah.
It's carotenoids.
It would be full of it.
So chlorella also could be really good. I just thought
very good. Yeah,
chlorella in my smoothie. It was just an
Geez, your eyes are going to be perfect.
Yeah, no, why am I wearing glasses, Steve?
Oh, man. But it's all about glaucomas and protecting cataracts and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're trying to do here. We you know, if you want to do it simply, look at those 2 supplements, the fat-soluble ones, take them once a day with a fatty meal. It doesn't have to be in the morning or night, just whenever. And that'll help you think. There's some multivitamins even have them in there.
Yes.
So, you know, look at your health and that sort of thing. But do get your eye checks. I'm a big fan of that.
Yes. Look, and I hate getting my eyes checked. I hate it. But it's important.
And it's bulk build.
Yeah. And not so much just for the vision, but for the actual eye health, because I will look at all of that as well. So
yeah. Oh, no, it's good. My health fund gives me $250 a year to spend on glasses.
There you go.
And I still buy the cheap ones. I've given you a set, haven't I? Those really cheap ones I get, but they work. But you know, for sunglasses I get them. You know, so really important, Nick. So this has been great. I mean, we've got some great sort of, you know, consider your multivitamins, consider your exercise. Don't get hypertension and diabetes for any reason. It's bad for you, but it's really bad for your eyes as well.
Stop smoking. Make sure you exercise.
Yes. These are great tips,
Get all your carotenoids in your diet. Your luteins.
Right. Now, because I do some or most of this stuff, I will see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
All right. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.